I Stopped Being a Racist, Part 1. I've been asked probably well over 1,000 times in the comments and messages why I chose to confront my own racism and my prejudice ideology. So I thought I'd just have an honest conversation with you and break it down over a few parts and let you see into the mind of someone like me, the way I grew up, and the man I'm becoming. Now, here's the crazy thing. I've only ever known one racist in my life for sure, and that's me, because I can't speak into the hearts and minds of another human being and what they think and feel. That's not fair and that's prejudicial of me. So I'm the only one I've ever known, so I feel I can speak with authority about this. I'm not calling out other people who are. This is simply about my evolution and the things I confronted and some of the difficulties and some of the beautiful parts of this. This is not an easy thing for me to do. This is kind of laying my soul bare. So if you would, let me know if this is something you want me to continue in the comments, please, because it's going to take a lot for me to invest emotionally to be open about this. Now, why is it I grew up with so much prejudice and bias and discrimination in my life? Well, I grew up in a small town in Arkansas, and I am Arkansas proud. Let me just say that right off the top. But I grew up with people who taught me these things, and it was instilled in me. I mean, it was just reinforced over and over. And then for the most part, I lived in an echo chamber of other people who thought the same thing. So I didn't know it was possible to think any other way. I was raised Christian. I cannot explain to you why my faith in God, my morality, and my racism took so long to cross paths. I can't explain it, but it probably took about 40 years to figure that out. There's a whole series of events in my life, I guess, ultimately that led up to this. And prison was probably one of the biggest catalysts, because when you're on 23-1 lockdown with someone of a different color from you in the same cell, you shut your mouth and you listen. You ask questions. And I had so many different cellmates from different countries, from different races and heritages. And it just really opened my mind. And sitting in prison, I had a lot of time to think. And I had some old timers tell me, I need to do my time. Don't let my time do me. And those are good words of advice. But I started digging deep into myself and my flaws, and because I was probably the biggest asshole I knew at that time, and I wasn't proud of that at all. And I knew I needed to change if I wanted to live a productive and healthy life and just be somebody likable. I just couldn't see the world for the way it really was. And that breaks my heart that it took me so long to see it. But the beauty that is born from this change in me, or this growth, is just crazy. God is amazing. So if you want me to continue this, let me know and I'll do a part 2.
So basically, the past 24 hours has been one of the most enlightening, healing, positive 24 hours of my life. The Black community really took in us gingers. We're like, we got you. And they gave us a big bear hug and said, you're going to heal things you didn't know you needed to heal. And I couldn't be more appreciative. Like, from the bottom of my heart, everyone that left comments, like, I tried to reply to all of them. From the bottom of my heart, it means the world to me. Here's my thing. I study politics, I study racial disparity, I study, gender and social justice and what that looks like within law and like government. That's my area of like knowledge. So this is a two-way street. The Black community has taken gingers, adopted us, and loved us unconditionally now. Now it's our turn to love back. And I think we are in a very unique hold on. This is not unique. What is happening right now, the racial disparities, that's not unique. That's always been happening. Let me preface that. But we are in a unique position with this, Black community, ginger community coalescence, this mixture, that we can now use that. We can use that collective, mobilize from that collective, and now it's our turn to get you. You know what I mean? You loved us, let me show you love. I got you, I support you, like, ride or die type shit. You feel me? Like, we got an opportunity here. And I know everyone's being evasive about the culture shit, but man, everything is political. Everything. I'm sure if the president had stubbed his pinky toe too hard and it was slightly off white, he'd deport it. So we have a really unique opportunity right now with this media thing going on to mobilize that. And I wanted to kind of let everyone know that, like, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so appreciative and that I got you. And I actively try to, whether it's me doing my research thesis or my, doing my research on my grants, I promise I always try to include your lived experience. And if you have any other suggestions on how the ginger community can be of service, because you guys have done so much for us in the past few days, we are going to, create a safe space for that. All right? Don't fuck with the fucking bullshit.
Do not tell me it is not good to see these people saying all of this. Like, this is good to know that a lot of white people are really pulling out and uncovering the truth that yes, this is who we are. We are racist, right? And now this is why we decided to change. This is why we decided to stop. Right? Anyways, first, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Sonia and I'm back again with another mind-blowing video. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are fine. Hope you guys are good. If this is the first time tuning in, do what, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. Every videos and clips you see using our today's episode, credit belongs to the original creators of those videos, right? I have a lot of bunch of videos for me to roll out for you guys. Let me know what your thoughts is in the comment section. Thank you for always coming back to support and subscribe to my channel. I do not take you guys for granted. Anyways, let's get right into this video and then I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go, guys.
To my white brothers and sisters, I'm not politically correct. I tell it like it is. When I hear someone say go back to your country, it's always from a white person directed at a black or brown person. But that makes no sense because our ancestors weren't from here and we stole this land and we're still colonizing it. And when I hear black and indigenous and people of color talk about reparations, I hear a white person in the background yelling reverse racism. But that makes no sense because white people have never been and are not being oppressed based on their race. So white people, I have a question. Why are you so afraid of losing your position in society? Why are you so afraid of losing the comfort that white supremacy has given you? Why are you so afraid of actual equality? Learn up.
What up, my judges? Welcome to another episode of Black History for White People. Have you ever noticed that some black folks don't say good morning? They might give you a nod or a what's up or nothing at all. There's even a small subset that only say grand rising. It's not rudeness, it's history. Here's what I've learned, and it's changed how I hear those words. Back during slavery, black people were required to greet their enslavers every single morning, smiling, being cheerful and respectful, saying, "Good morning, massa." It wasn't just polite, it was survival. And refusing to say it or not saying it with enough cheer could get them beaten, spit on, or even killed in front of their family. So here's the part white people really don't want me to talk about. Nighttime was whenever enslavers would do their worst. After sundown, black men were often dragged out of their homes, beaten, tortured, mutilated, or lynched, and sometimes right in front of their families. The next morning, those same white enslavers would stroll the property like nothing happened, smiling, saying good morning, as if the blood had already dried, as if the screams didn't echo just hours before. But for the enslaved, it wasn't a good morning. It was mourning. It was grief. It was silence over an empty space where a husband or a father or a brother had stood the day before. So that phrase, good morning, took on a whole different meaning. It wasn't just words. It was a mask, a forced performance of happiness in the middle of constant terror. And that history didn't disappear. As we know, generational trauma doesn't just vanish, it lingers. So even today, a lot of black elders avoid saying it, not because they're unfriendly, but because the phrase carries weight. It's a reminder of all the times they had to smile through pain. So when we white folks expect a cheerful good morning, we need to maybe think about where that expectation came from. Because what we call manners, they might call survival. And when someone chooses not to say it, that might be resistance, that might be memory, that might be dignity. There's still nothing good about mourning. Thanks for supporting, guys. My Cash App's in my bio. This is Black History for White People.
Slavery has been abolished and Jim Crow is no longer in play. The psyche of white supremacy, white privilege, and entitlement still remains. And to this day, white women, regardless of political affiliation, and albeit consciously or subconsciously, still think of black women as being your indentured servants, that we must be in service to you at all times, and your access to us must always be unfettered. And this election and your reaction to black women as a result of it was a prime example. When black women collectively said, we are tired, we are done, and to just simply leave us alone, instead of listening to black women, respecting us and the boundary we set forth, you took our immediate divestment and disengagement from you as downright disrespect. How dare black women withdraw their labor, support, and protection of us? How dare black women deny us access to them? White women are the creators of exclusion, and yet you hate exclusivity the moment it's directed towards you. The moment black women disengaged from your content, you came to the real-time realization that the majority of your platforms were built off the backs of black women, just like everything else you have. And because the 15th was right around the corner, you turned that panic into pandering, hence the blue bracelets. When black women immediately clocked your performative bullshit and told you collectively to fuck off, the mask, as always, immediately dropped. Whenever white women extend kindness to us, even in the smallest of ways, there's an immediate and silent demand for gratitude. And when not received, you feel immediately slighted. You go from 0 to Miss Millie real fucking quick. You went from pandering for our engagement to condescendingly demanding that we acknowledge your individual vote for Kamala Harris rather than your collective vote to uphold white supremacy and protect your white privilege. Now you're so desperate for our engagement that you've resorted to rage baiting, which has also fallen on deaf ears. White women are all about perception, because in your mind, if you look the part, you are the part without having to actually do the work. And because you're all about perception, your greatest fear is exposure, which is why you view Black women as your greatest threat, because we know exactly who you are at your core and everything evil that you're capable of. Because for centuries, we've witnessed and experienced it firsthand. The majority of you have no interest in being an ally to Black women. You just need to be perceived as one, because it allows you to feel morally superior while simultaneously disguising your deeply rooted insecurities and your jealousy of Black women. For the first time ever, you are being judged, and rightfully so, based solely on the color of your skin and not the content of your character, which has always been questionable at best. It's all fun and MLK quotes until you're on the receiving end of one.
Thing is that only few people will actually come out boldly here to say, yes, my white people are not correct. My white people are wrong. We know that these Black people are people that we should actually love, we should cherish, right? And I acknowledge the boldness that these people actually have to come out and just say it as plain as it is. You know, there's a difference between, okay, you know that this thing you're doing is wrong, and then you're owning up to it and be like, oh, I'm changing from it. You understand? Then you know that this thing that you're doing is wrong, but you're still owning up to the fact that that thing is right. You get what I'm trying to say? A lot has been happening these past few days. The internet have been buzzing and so on and so forth. But these men and women, let me not just say men, right? They are men that they already know that, okay, we've offended this Black community. These people actually need this thing. So why do we keep acting as if we are all that correct? You get what I'm trying to say? Anyways, let me go ahead and roll out the remaining clips I have for you guys. I'll be back with commentaries.
Quickly talk about this division between Black people and white people and how ridiculous it is. So this is my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts if you agree or disagree. So I believe that there's no such thing as black or white. It's just a label that got put on us 100 years ago, whatever, to try and separate us, to try and weaken us as a species. And it's working, because we all argue with each other about pointless crap. So I don't believe that I'm white. I don't believe that the whitest of white people is white. And I don't believe that the darkest skinned Black person is black. We're all brown, all of us. We're just a different shade of it. We all come from Africa, so I don't know why we argue about that. It's a scientific fact. I'm a child of Africa at some point if you go far enough back. If you stick me in the sun, I'll go brown, because that's what's meant to happen. It's your skin's natural defense to the sun. And the only reason that I'm white is because, I don't know, 10,000, 40,000, whatever years ago, my ancestors decided they were going to leave Africa and head north. And north means less sun. So I don't need the protection in my skin as much. Same with my nostrils. My nose changed shape because I had to breathe in colder air. I just adapted. Well, I didn't, but my ancestors just adapted to the environment. That's the only difference in us. We're all the same. We're all the bloody same. So why we argue about this and that and black and white, it's just ridiculous. We're all one species. And the sooner we realise that, the better it'll be. There's no difference between an Englishman like me and an African, except we've adapted to his environments. That's it. I don't get the need to argue about irrelevant shit like skin colour. It's just ridiculous. We're all people, we're all the human race. We need to get on, because there's far more fucking important things going on in the world that we as a species need to unite on than fucking skin colour. That's that.
Video is for my white brothers and sisters. Do you believe that white privilege exists? Up until recently, I was living off of $900 a month for the last 3 years, and as you'd imagine, I needed government aids to survive. As for my childhood, I moved more times than I care to count, and if I ate that day, it was usually ramen noodles. You and I, as white people, do not see white privilege, especially if we came from the struggle. We are not privileged in the sense that we are handed everything, because although I came from the struggle, if I was black or brown, I would have had to have dealt with racism on top of everything else that I was struggling with. White privilege is not about what you have been given because you are white, it's about what you do not have to endure because you are white. Over 70% of the United States is classified as white, so we are in general treated as human beings. And although being treated like a human being is not a privilege, it's a right, in general, black and indigenous and people of color are not treated with the respect that they deserve. So to those who are being disrespected by a society, when looking at those who are being treated like they're human, it looks a lot like privilege. Hence white privilege.
To understand something about this statement. One time I had to explain to a close male friend of mine how things work in public. So he was out with his fiance and they were at a bar playing pool, and every time she had to go to the bathroom, she wanted him to go with her to the door. And he was annoyed. He was like, man, I gotta put down my drink. I gotta walk. Why can't she just walk to the bathroom? She's a grown woman. And I took in, his frustration with boys, And one day we were out at a bar and I said to him, 96% of all sexual assaults are committed by men. And he was like, yeah, so? I said, do you know which guys in here would commit rape? No, how the hell would I know that? Then how the hell would your fiance? Do you see what I'm saying? So are all white people bad? No. If you put me in a room full of white people, especially in this climate, I can't tell the difference. In this situation, it makes your statement seem dismissive.
Oh, the blacks were never wrong. The blacks, let me not say the blacks were never wrong, right? Let me say some blacks were never wronged so that someone will not come for me. But seeing these white folks, seeing this white community coming to even own it up to their chest, opening up to say, you see that same white supremacy, they are not all enjoying those privileges. It is something beautiful to watch. Anyways, what do you think in the comment section? Do you think that all of these things that they said is actually correct, or they are just saying it because they want to say it? Let me know as well in the comment section. And you that is watching, especially if you're white folks, please do not wait for it to get to that point of regret. Do not wait for it to get to that point of longevity before you can come back and be like, oh, I am owing up, I'm changing, and so on and so forth. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people are still doing the same thing, and I'm not saying that it's only white people that are actually doing this racist of a thing, right? Even the black peoples, in one way or the other, they've had encounters with the white, some of the white videos that we actually see, and they'll come back and tell you that this is actually their experience that they had. So if you're watching, be it black, be it white, please, it is advisable that you do not just keep those bad things down to yourself. Own up to your chest and be like, I'm changing from this thing. If these people are coming out to say that, oh, we are coming to support the black community, they should not just come and support the black community in vain. You understand what I'm trying to say? So let's learn to cherish one another. Let's learn to value one another. It is very important. I'll keep saying it in all my video. No matter the skin color you have, be it white, black, brown, and chocolate, we are all one. And the earlier we start seeing that, the earlier we start recognizing that, the earlier we start owning up and saying, okay, this particular thing we're doing is wrong and we are no longer going to do it again, the better for every single one of us, right? Anyways, this video is just for educational purpose. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are as well. I would really love to know. Now let me correct a particular impression, because I see some people in my comment section say, hey, why are you doing our country news? That's the racism we're talking about. That is it. Why are you doing our country news? Focus on your country. Did I hold your hand not to do my country news? Go ahead and do my country news if you want to do my country news. You understand? So I don't know. You just see people coming here to like bring out some resources, the time we spent in doing research, the time we spent in putting videos together, and then coming down to film videos, and you come to my comment section and you're bashing me. I accept all of that with love, right? But please, that's another sign that you are a racist. Desist from it and change. You understand? That's the main video of today. That's the main lesson of today. Change. We are one. No matter where you think we are one. And if it is not public, we will not come out here and say it. If you don't want us to say it, do not bring it public. But the moment you bring it public, we must chook our mouth and contribute to it. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let me know what you think. And yes, with no further ado, I do that like I always say in my videos. I'm going to be saying, and I'll see you guys in my next video. For now, bye. I love you guys. Mwah.